Good morning, everyone. My name is Annalyn Goson, and for today, we're going to tackle the topic entitled The Computer as a Tutor. So, in the previous chapters, we have learned that the technology is now being integrated in the teaching and learning process. So, for today, let us study the computer softwares that are now being integrated in the classroom and in the teaching and learning process. So at the end of the topic, we can answer the question, how the computer becomes a tutor. First, let me discuss the general uses of computer in education. One, we have the computer becomes a tool for program instruction. We can say that a computer is a tool for program instruction because, like a book, the computer can now provide a step-by-step instruction and can even monitor the learning process of the student by providing tests and evaluating students' performance through educational softwares. Second, we have the computer becomes a tool for individualization in learning. So we all know that the teacher handles a class of 40 to 60 students. And the greatest barrier is that it is quite difficult to cater the needs of each learner. Since the focus of individualization and learning is, as I said, is the need of each learner. We have already learned the potential uses of computer in education. And to break the barrier of individualization and learning, educators came up with the so-called computer-assisted instruction. What is computer-assisted instruction? Computer-assisted instruction is an interactive instructional technique whereby a computer is used to present the instructional material and monitor the learning that takes place. Take note of the highlighted words there, the computer, and the present and monitor. So if the computer is used to present the instructional material and monitor the learning that takes place, what will be the role of the teacher then? Does it mean that the computer can replace the teacher? The answer is no, since the computer will only relieve the teacher of his or her personal role as a classroom tutor. In computer-assisted instruction, there are rules assigned to teacher, students, and even the computer has its own role in computer-assisted instruction. The following are the rules and responsibilities of the teacher. The teacher must ensure that the students have the needed knowledge and skills for any computer activity, decide the appropriate learning objectives, plan the sequential and structured activities to objectives, and evaluate the students' achievements by ways of test the specific expected outcomes. So let us study each role and responsibility. Number one is to ensure. Ensure that students have the needed knowledge and skills for any computer activity. So it is the teacher's responsibility to provide the knowledge and skills before the computer activity. So for example, if the activity is to enhance the multiplication skills of the students, so first the teacher will teach the basic concept of multiplication before moving on to computer activity. Second, it is to decide the appropriate learning objectives. So the appropriate learning objectives are based upon the curriculum, and it is the teacher's responsibility to conform with the guidelines provided by the DepEd per se. And then we have to plan. The teacher must plan the sequential and structured activities to objectives. So remember that not all activities will require a computer. So that's why it's the teacher's responsibility to plan the activities in accordance to objectives. Second is to evaluate the students' achievements by ways of test the specific expected outcomes. So this is where the teacher will evaluate the students' performance and achievements based on the expected outcomes. Therefore, the roles of the teachers are the ones that cannot be done by a machine. The following are the rules of the students in the computer-assisted instruction. One is to receive information. The information pertains to the knowledge and skills provided by the teacher. So the students cannot participate in the computer activity without the know-how to do so. Second one is to understand instruction for the computer activity. So once the student receives information, the effective learning must follow. Understanding the instruction is one of the keys to achieve the expected outcomes. Third is to retain, keep in mind the information and rules for the computer activity. This is also important because the student will not just only receive information and understand instruction. It is his or her responsibility to remember the information and rules for the computer activity so that the teacher will not keep on reminding them on how to do so. And the last one is to apply the knowledge and rules during the process of computer learning. So this is the most important role of the student. It is where the student will be able to show his or her performance in accordance to the expected outcomes. The following are the roles of the computer in computer-assisted instruction. Act as a sort of tutor, provides learning environment, delivers learning instruction, reinforces learning through drill and practice, and provides feedback. These actually are the roles traditionally played by the teacher. But with the availability of the computer now provides a one-on-one instruction to each student, thereby breaking the barrier in individualization in learning. Furthermore, the advantage of having computer in the classroom is that the computer does not discriminate a learning capacity of the student. It provides learning environment for both fast and slow learners. So we have already learned the roles played by the teacher, student, and computer in the computer-assisted instruction. So now let's move on to how the computer softwares are being integrated with the lessons through drill and practice, tutorials, simulation activities, instructional games, problem-solving software, multimedia encyclopedia, and electronic books. At this point, I'm going to show you a video presenting the drill and practice software. As we have seen in the video, the drill and practice works in enhancing the student's mastery in multiplication. The advantage of having drill and practice software is that it provides opportunity for the learner to practice material in unlimited number of times. So like as what we have seen in the video, the student can practice multiplication. And other common types of drill and practice programs are vocabulary building, math facts, basic science, history, and geography. So what are the mechanisms involved in the drill and practice software? First, the computer will present the question or problem, and then the student will answer the question, and the computer will provide immediate feedback to the answer if correct or wrong. And then after a number of practice problems and at the end of the exercise, the student will get the summary of his or her overall performance. So the question would be, how can the teacher integrate drill and practice programs with their lessons? The following are the suggestions on how to integrate the drill and practice softwares with the lessons. First is to use drill and practice programs for basic skills and knowledge that require rapid or automatic response by students. The concrete example with that is the multiplication, since students can respond to multiplication automatically. However, we cannot use the drill and practice programs for complicated algebraic expressions. Second one is to ensure that drill and practice activities conform to the lesson plan or curriculum. So we cannot use the drill and practice programs during rest periods of the students, since the said activities must conform to the lesson plan or curriculum. Limit drill and practice to 20 to 30 minutes to avoid boredom. Use drill and practice to assist students with particular weakness and basic skills. So we cannot use the drill and practice programs with the students who have already mastered with the particular learning content. We have already learned the drill and practice softwares. For now, let's move on to tutorial software. What is tutorial software? Tutorial software combines presentation of material with drill and practice, games, or simulation to emphasize material and assist in learning. So the tutorial software, it is an interactive software program that is created as a learning tool. Tutorials help the students learn new skill by using a step-by-step process that ensures that the student is following along and comprehending the learning material. Next, we have simulation programs. Simulation program teaches strategies and rules applied to real-life problems or situations. Asks students to make decisions on models or scenarios. Allows students to manipulate elements of module and get the experience of the effects of their decisions. In other words, simulation programs provide a holistic learning environment, since it provides the necessary skills for survival, and it includes the decision-making skills and strategy making. Furthermore, simulation programs are designed to expose the students in real-life situations or scenarios with rules provided. The purpose of simulation programs is to teach strategies and hone the decision-making skills of the students. One concrete example of a simulation software is the SimCity. in which students are allowed to artificially manage a city given an imaginary city environment. So decision making involves such factors as budget, crime, education, transportation, energy resources, waste disposal, business industries available. Now let's move on to instructional games. Games are used as the instructional material to create a contest for the learner. The learners can compete against his personal best, the computer, other learners while mastering the material. Example is Geo Safari. At this point, I'm going to show you a video presenting an instructional game.
Choose how many players in today's game.